The Discovery, the engineers, 90 Mamiya. Chen floated in the cramped maintenance tunnel of mining station Prometheus 7, her breath fogging the inside of her helmet as she stared at something that shouldn't exist. Carved into the metal hull with surgical precision was a series of geometric patterns that seemed to shift and dance in the light of her headlamp. The symbols were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "Control, this is Maya," she spoke into her unit, her voice steadier. Then she felt, "I'm seeing more of those markings." "Third station this week." The reply crackled through static. "Copy that, Chen. Document everything and get back to the ship. The colony administrators are getting nervous about these symbols." Maya pulled out her scanner and began recording the intricate patterns. Each symbol was roughly the size of her palm, connected by thin lines that formed complex geometric shapes. They appeared to be burned into the hull from the outside, but that was impossible. No human technology could create such precise work in the vacuum of space, especially not on abandoned stations that had been drifting for months. As chief maintenance engineer for the Kepler Belt Mining Consortium, Maya had seen her share of strange things. Equipment failures, space madness, even the occasional hoax. But these symbols were different. They appeared overnight on stations scattered across millions of kilometers of space. Always in the same precise style, always in locations where they would be discovered during routine maintenance. She finished her documentation and pushed herself back through the tunnel toward the airlock. The symbols bothered her more than she wanted to admit, not because they were threatening, but because they were so obviously intelligent. Someone or something was trying to communicate, and humanity was responding with fear instead of curiosity. The pattern emerges back aboard the research vessel Endeavour. Maya spread her findings across the holographic display table. Dr. James Torres, the expedition's linguist and xenocultural specialist, leaned forward with interest. His weathered face showed the excitement of a man who had spent his life studying dead languages and ancient texts, suddenly faced with something completely new. "Fascinating," he murmured, manipulating the display to show all the symbols Maya had collected over the past month. "Look at the mathematical precision. Each symbol maintains exact proportional relationships regardless of size or surface material." Captain Sarah Walsh stood at the edge of the display, her military bearing evident even in the relaxed atmosphere of the research vessel. As head of security for the mining operations, she had been tasked with investigating potential threats to the colonies. So far, she had found no evidence of hostile intent, but that didn't make her any less cautious. "Intelligent, yes," Sarah said, "but intelligent doesn't mean friendly. We need to consider the possibility that these are territorial markers or warnings." Maya shook her head, pulling up a detailed analysis she had been working on. "I don't think so. Watch this." She activated a time-lapse simulation showing the appearance of symbols across different stations. They're not random. Each new symbol appears exactly 72 hours before a significant astronomical event in that region. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. The display showed symbol after symbol appearing, followed by asteroid movements, solar flare activity, and gravitational anomalies, all predicted with impossible accuracy. "They're not marking territory," Maya continued. "They're providing information, navigation data, hazard warnings, astronomical predictions. Whoever is creating these symbols is trying to help us." Dr. Torres ran his fingers through his grey beard. A habit Maya had learned indicated deep thought. The complexity suggests a highly advanced civilization. But more importantly, the fact that they're using visual symbols accessible to any spacefaring species suggests they understand the challenges of first contact. The fear responds, despite Maya's analysis. Panic was spreading through the outer colonies. News feeds were filled with stories about the mysterious symbols, each report more sensationalized than the last. Alien invasion, imminent and unknown. Threats mark human territory dominated the headlines. Governor Patricia Hendricks of New Series Colony appeared on the main communications screen of the Endeavour, her usually calm demeanor replaced by visible stress. Behind her, Maya could see protesters holding signs demanding military intervention. Dr. Chen, the governor, began formally. The Colonial Defense Council is voting tomorrow on whether to classify these symbols as hostile communications. Several colonies are requesting immediate military protection. Maya felt her heart sink. After weeks of careful study and analysis, fear was winning over curiosity. Governor, with respect, our research shows these symbols are informational, not threatening. They've actually prevented 3 major mining accidents by warning us about unstable asteroids. That may be true, Governor Hendricks replied, but the people are afraid. Fear of the unknown is a powerful force, and right now it's threatening the stability of our entire colonial network. Captain Walsh stepped forward. Governor, give us more time. Dr. Torres believes he's close to a breakthrough in translation. If we can actually communicate with whoever is creating these symbols, we might be able to establish peaceful contact. The governor's expression softened slightly. You have 48 hours. After that, the Defense Council takes control, and first contact becomes a military matter. The breakthrough moment that night, Maya found herself unable to sleep. She floated in the observation deck of the Endeavour, staring out at the starfield while running symbol patterns through her engineering software. There had to be something she was missing, some key that would unlock the meaning behind the markings. Dr. Torres joined her, carrying 2 cups of coffee in magnetic sealed containers. Despite the artificial gravity in most of the ship, the observation deck was kept in 0G to provide a better view of space. Can't sleep either, he asked, handing her a cup. Maya accepted the coffee gratefully. There's something elegant about these symbols. As an engineer, I can appreciate the precision, but there's something more. They're not just functional, they're beautiful. Art and science combined, Torres agreed. Many Earth cultures used similar approaches. The Aboriginal Australians encoded navigation information in their Dreamtime stories. The Polynesians used star maps that were also cultural artifacts. Maya suddenly sat up straighter, nearly spilling her coffee. Wait, say that again. About the Polynesians. No, about encoding information in stories. Maya's mind was racing. She pulled up the symbol database on her tablet. What if these aren't just navigation warnings? What if they're telling us a story? She began arranging the symbols in chronological order of appearance rather than by location. Slowly, a narrative began to emerge. The first symbols showed simple mathematical concepts. The next group demonstrated understanding of physics and chemistry. The most recent symbols were more complex, showing stellar formations and galactic structures. It's a conversation, Maya whispered in amazement. They're showing us their knowledge level, proving they understand our science, and gradually introducing more advanced concepts. Dr. Torres leaned over her shoulder, his excitement growing as he followed her reasoning. And if it's a conversation, then the next logical step would be coordinates, Maya finished. They're building up to showing us where to meet. The hidden message asterisk. Working through the night, Maya and Dr. Torres decoded what appeared to be the central message embedded in the symbol sequence. Using the mathematical and astronomical references as a key, they were able to extract a set of spatial coordinates that pointed to a location deep in the Kepler belt. The coordinates led to an unremarkable asteroid designated KB2847, a small rocky body that had never shown signs of mineral wealth or strategic importance. According to the astronomical database, it was completely ordinary in every measurable way. "That can't be right," Captain Walsh said when they presented their findings the next morning. "We've surveyed that entire region. There's nothing there but rocks and ice." Maya pulled up detailed scans of the asteroid. "That's what bothers me. Look at the orbital mechanics. KB2847's trajectory is too perfect. It maintains a stable position relative to all the major mining operations, despite gravitational influences that should have pulled it away centuries ago." "You're suggesting it's artificial?" Sarah asked. "I'm suggesting it's been placed there deliberately. The asteroid is exactly where it needs to be to observe all human activity in this sector while remaining undetected." Dr. Torres added his analysis to the display. The symbol sequence also contains what appears to be a time reference. "If I'm reading this correctly, we have approximately 18 hours to reach those coordinates, and if we don't," Captain Walsh asked. Maya studied the final symbols in the sequence. They showed a pattern that looked disturbingly like stars going dark, one by one. "I think the invitation expires. Whoever is trying to contact us moves on to the next phase of their plan, whatever that might be. The decision point within hours." Of their discovery, word had leaked to the colonial authorities. Governor Hendricks was back on the communication screen, but this time she wasn't alone. Admiral James Morrison of the Colonial Defense Force stood beside her, his expression grim. "Dr. Chen," the Admiral began without preamble, "the Defense Council has voted. Those coordinates you've discovered are now classified as a potential threat. We're dispatching 3 battle cruisers to investigate." Maya felt her heart racing. "Admiral, with respect, sending warships to a first contact scenario could be catastrophic. If these beings are peaceful, showing up with military force could be interpreted as hostile intent. And if they're not peaceful," Admiral Morrison replied, "showing up unprepared could mean the end of human expansion into this sector." "I'm sorry, Dr. Chen, but this is no longer a civilian matter." Captain Walsh stepped forward. "Admiral, request permission to accompany the military expedition as civilian advisors. Dr. Chen and Dr. Torres have the most experience with these symbols. Their expertise could be vital." The Admiral considered this for a moment. "Permission granted, but you'll be under military command once you reach the coordinates. This is not a research mission, it's a security operation." As the communication ended, Maya stared out at the stars, knowing that humanity was about to face its first real test as a spacefaring species. Would they approach the unknown with curiosity and hope, or with fear and weapons drawn? The race against time, the next few hours passed in a blur of preparation and tension. The Endeavour was equipped with enhanced communication arrays and scientific sensors, while the military vessels Titan, Hercules, and Valkyrie took positions in a protective formation around them. Maya spent the journey reviewing every detail of the symbol translations, looking for any clue about what they might encounter. The mathematical precision of the markings suggested a highly advanced civilization, but the patient educational approach implied beings who understood the delicate nature of first contact. Dr. Torres worked on preparing communication protocols. developing a system that could convey basic mathematical and scientific concepts using visual symbols similar to those they had been receiving. If this encounter went well, humanity would need a way to respond in kind. Captain Walsh coordinated with the military commanders, trying to establish rules of engagement that would prioritize communication over confrontation. It was a delicate balance between caution and diplomacy. As they approached the coordinates, Maya felt a mixture of excitement and dread. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, but she had never imagined it would come with warships in formation and weapons powered up. The next few hours would determine not just humanity's first impression on alien intelligence, but potentially the future of human expansion among the stars. Through the observation window, asteroid KB2847 looked exactly as unremarkable as the surveys had indicated, but as they drew closer, Maya's instruments began detecting energy signatures that definitely weren't natural. Whatever was waiting for them on that small rock, it had been watching humanity for a long time, and now it was ready to make contact. The question was, would humanity be ready to listen? The invitation, the hidden truth, as the combined fleet approached. Asteroid KB 28 and 47 Maya watched her instruments with growing amazement. What had appeared to be a simple rock was revealing itself to be something far more extraordinary. Energy readings spiked across multiple spectrums, and her deep penetrating scanners showed massive hollow spaces within the asteroid's core. Admiral Morrison. Maya called over the comm channel. "You need to see this. The asteroid isn't just artificial, it's enormous. The rock shell is less than 50 meters thick. Inside, there's a structure over 2 kilometers in diameter." The Admiral's voice came back tense and professional. "All ships maintain defensive positions. Dr. Chen, what kind of energy signatures are we looking at?" Maya studied her displays, cross-referencing the readings with everything in the human database. Nothing that matches our technology, but also nothing that registers as weapons. It's more like a massive computer system running on principles we don't understand. Dr. Torres joined her at the sensor station, his face filled with wonder. "Maya, look at the structural design. Those aren't random chambers inside the asteroid. It's laid out like an observatory. See these patterns. They're oriented toward different sections of our galaxy." Captain Walsh's tactical training kicked in as she studied the layout. An observatory implies passive observation. If they wanted to attack our colonies, they've had months to do it. This confirms your theory, Maya. They've been watching us. First, visual contact as they drew within 500 meters of the asteroid. Its surface began to change. Sections of the rocky exterior slid away with mechanical precision, revealing crystalline structures that pulsed with soft, blue-white lights. The same geometric patterns Maya had found on the mining stations were etched into the crystal surfaces. But here they moved and shifted like living things. "It's beautiful," Dr. Torres whispered, his academic composure cracking with emotion. "Look at the artistry combined with the technology. This isn't just a machine, it's a work of art." Admiral Morrison's voice cut through their wonder. "All ships, we're receiving a transmission. It's not radio or any communication method we recognize, but somehow it's interfacing directly with our computer systems." Maya felt a chill run down her spine. Any technology that could bypass their firewalls and security systems was far beyond human capability. But instead of the data corruption or system failures she expected, her screens began displaying something. Extraordinary dot images flowed across her displays in perfect clarity. Star systems she had never seen, with planets covered in cities of impossible beauty, beings of various species working together on massive construction projects among the stars. Advanced spacecraft that moved between dimensions as easily as human ships traveled between planets. They're showing us their civilization, Maya breathed. Not just their technology, but their entire society. The Watchers reveal themselves. The images shifted to show the history of human space exploration from an outside perspective. Maya watched in fascination as the alien observers documented humanity's first tentative steps beyond Earth, the establishment of lunar colonies, the expansion to Mars, and finally the recent push into the Kepler belt. Asterisk. But it wasn't just a record of human achievements. The images showed moments when human missions had unknowingly avoided disasters. Asteroids that should have impacted colony ships mysteriously deflected at the last moment. Solar flares that were predicted with impossible accuracy, allowing settlements to take shelter. Equipment failures that were mysteriously repaired during maintenance cycles. They've been helping us, Captain Walsh realized. All those lucky breaks and unexplained corrections to our navigation systems. It wasn't luck at all. The images paused and new symbols appeared on Maya's screen. But these weren't the simple geometric patterns from before. These symbols moved and transformed, clearly attempting to convey complex ideas through visual representation. Dr. Torres worked frantically to decode the message. I think they're introducing themselves. The root symbol appears to mean something like guide or teacher. The secondary patterns suggest a species that has existed far longer than humanity. Maya's engineering background helped her interpret the technical aspects of the communication. They're showing us their role in galactic development. They don't rule or control. They watch and assist species as they develop spacefaring capability. The test revealed new images flowed across their screens, showing other species at various stages of development. Some had passed through their own first contact scenarios and joined what appeared to be a vast galactic community. Others had failed, consumed by fear and aggression, their expansion carefully contained until they could develop the wisdom to handle advanced technology responsibly. It's a test, Maya realized with growing excitement. The symbols on our mining stations weren't just communication attempts. They were evaluating how we would respond to contact with an unknown intelligence. Admiral Morrison's voice came over. The calm, unusually subdued. Dr. Chen, are you saying that humanity has been under evaluation this entire time? More than evaluation, Dr. Torres added, his translation work revealing new layers of meaning. They've been providing opportunities for us to demonstrate our character. Every symbol we interpreted correctly, every peaceful response we made, every moment we chose curiosity over fear, it was all being recorded. The alien communication shifted again, showing the recent events from their perspective. Maya saw herself working late into the night to decode the symbols, driven by scientific curiosity rather than fear. She saw Dr. Torres approaching the mystery with academic excitement rather than suspicion. She saw Captain Walsh advocating for communication over military action, but they also saw the fear spreading through the colonies, the demands for military intervention, and the current fleet of warships surrounding their observatory. They're disappointed, Captain Walsh observed quietly. They wanted us to come in peace, with open minds and hearts. Instead, we brought weapons. The critical choice the alien communication paused, and Maya felt a strange sensation, as if something was gently touching the edges of her consciousness. It wasn't invasive or frightening, more like someone politely asking permission to communicate directly. She looked around and saw that Dr. Torres and Captain Walsh were experiencing the same thing. Even Admiral Morrison's voice over the com indicated that the feeling was spreading throughout the fleet. "Don't resist it," Maya called out to the other ships. "I think they want to communicate more directly, but they're asking permission first. That's a sign of respect, not aggression." As Maya relaxed her mental barriers, images and concepts flowed into her mind with crystalline clarity. She saw the species that had been observing them, tall and graceful beings with luminescent skin and eyes that held the wisdom of millennia. They called themselves the Kailani, which translated roughly to those who light the path. The Kailani had been guiding younger species for over 1,000,000 years, helping them navigate the dangerous transition from planetary to galactic civilizations. They had watched countless species face the same choice now confronting humanity: embrace the unknown with curiosity and cooperation, or retreat into fear and isolation. The symbols, Maya understood now. They were just the beginning. "You've been waiting to see if we could move beyond our fear." The response came not in words, but in emotion and image. The Kailani showed her visions of humanity's potential future. Cities among the stars powered by clean energy that defied human understanding. Human explorers working alongside dozens of alien species to map distant galaxies. Human scientists contributing unique perspectives to problems that had puzzled galactic civilization for eons. But they also showed the alternative: humanity contained within its current borders, slowly stagnating as fear of the unknown limited their growth and development. Human ingenuity shines as the mental communication continued. Maya became aware that something was wrong with the alien structure. Her engineer's instincts picked up subtle irregularities in the energy patterns surrounding them. The beautiful crystalline surfaces were flickering slightly, and some of the moving symbols had frozen in place, breaking away from the communication trance. She activated her diagnostic scanners. "Dr. Torres, Captain Walsh, something's failing in their systems. Look at these power fluctuation readings." The Kailani seemed surprised by her observation, and Maya felt a wave of curiosity from them. Through the mental link, she understood that their observatory had been operating for thousands of years without maintenance, powered by technologies that were supposed to be but even the most advanced technology eventually faced unexpected problems. "May I?" Maya asked, both aloud and through the mental link. The permission she felt in response was tinged with both hope and skepticism. Working quickly, Maya used her understanding of engineering principles to analyze the alien systems. While the technology was far beyond human capability, the underlying physics were universal. Energy flow, system integration, redundancy protocols, these concepts applied regardless of the species that built the systems. There, she identified the problem. Your power distribution network has developed microfractures over time. The system is trying to compensate, but it's creating feedback loops that are slowly degrading your data storage matrices. The solution required a combination of human intuition and alien technology. Maya worked through her mental link with the Kailani, teaching them human approaches to system repair, while learning to work with their crystalline technology. It was a collaboration unlike anything in human experience, two completely different approaches to engineering merging to solve a common problem. As the repairs took hold, the observatory blazed with renewed light. The Kailani's gratitude flowed through the mental link like warm sunlight, and Maya realized she had just participated in the most important engineering project in human history. The galactic community with their systems restored. the Kailani shared more of their knowledge with the human expedition. Maya learned that the galaxy was filled with thousands of intelligent species, most of them members of a loose confederation built on mutual respect and shared knowledge. Earth and its colonies had been identified as a potential member species. Decades ago, when human radio signals first reached Kailani monitoring posts, the long period of observation had been necessary to understand human nature and determine whether humanity was ready for the responsibilities that came with galactic citizenship. What responsibilities? Captain Walsh asked through the mental link. The answer came in a flood of images and concepts. Members of the Galactic Confederation shared technology and knowledge freely, but they also committed to protecting developing species and maintaining the delicate balance that allowed thousands of different civilizations to coexist peacefully. War between member species was virtually unknown, not because it was forbidden, but because the Confederation provided better ways to resolve conflicts. Dr. Torres was fascinated by the cultural implications. Through the link, he learned that the Confederation had preserved the history and knowledge of species that had existed millions of years ago. Art, literature, scientific discoveries, and philosophical insights from across the galaxy were available to any member species. Asterisk. It's the ultimate library, he marveled. The collected wisdom of galactic civilization, freely shared among all members. The decision, as the communication session neared its end, the Kailani presented humanity with a choice. They could return to their colonies and continue their current path of expansion, with the Kailani maintaining their hidden observation and occasional assistance. Or they could accept an invitation to join the Galactic Confederation as a junior member, gaining access to advanced technology and knowledge in exchange for contributing their own unique perspectives to galactic civilization. Maya felt the weight of the decision settling on her shoulders. This wasn't something she or her colleagues could decide alone. This was a choice that would affect all of humanity for generations to come. We need time, she said through the mental link, and we need to consult with our people. This decision belongs to all of humanity, not just to us. The Kailani's response was warm with approval. The fact that the humans wanted to include their entire species in such an important decision was another positive sign of their readiness. For galactic citizenship, how long do we have? Admiral Morrison asked, his earlier suspicions replaced by careful consideration of the possibilities. The answer came with images of stellar positions and orbital mechanics. The Kailani would maintain their observation post for one full Earth year, during which time humanity could debate the choice and prepare for whatever path they chose. If they decided to join the Confederation, the Kailani would begin the gradual process of introducing human representatives to other member species and sharing basic technologies. If humanity chose to remain isolated, the Kailani would respect that decision but would gradually withdraw their hidden assistance, allowing humanity to face the challenges of galactic expansion on their own. Return to the stars as the human fleet prepared to return to the colonies. Maya felt a profound sense of change. In the space of a few hours, humanity's place in the universe had been completely redefined. They were no longer alone, no longer the only intelligent species struggling to understand the cosmos. They were part of something vast and wonderful, with the potential to contribute to a galactic community that had existed for millions of years. The journey back to New Ceres Colony was filled with intense discussions about what they had experienced. Admiral Morrison, initially skeptical of any alien contact, found himself arguing for careful consideration of the Kailani invitation. The technology and knowledge they offered could solve many of humanity's current challenges, from energy production to interstellar travel. Captain Walsh focused on the security implications, but her analysis was optimistic. A species that had been secretly helping humanity for months and had asked permission before establishing mental communication was unlikely to pose a threat. If anything, membership in the Galactic Confederation would provide protection against more aggressive species that might exist in unexplored regions of space. Dr. Torres could barely contain his excitement at the cultural and linguistic opportunities. The chance to study the languages, literature, and art of thousands of alien species was beyond his wildest academic dreams. But it was Maya who understood the real significance of what had happened. As an engineer, she appreciated the Kailani's patient, methodical approach to first contact. They had tested humanity not through force or intimidation, but by providing opportunities to demonstrate wisdom, curiosity, and compassion. We passed the test, she realized, as she watched the stars wheel past the observation window. Not perfectly, but we passed. We chose to communicate instead of attack, to seek understanding instead of fleeing in fear. And now we have the chance to join something incredible. The symbols that had started as mysterious markings on abandoned mining stations had revealed themselves to be an invitation to the greatest adventure in human history. The only question now was whether humanity would be brave enough to accept it. Asterisk.